What's up YouTube, Webbers5 here, coming at you with my Magician Pendulum deck profile update. Okay, so starting the deck off, I'm playing 3 Astrograph and 1 Stargazer. Just a standard setup, good ratio. Astrograph's like your main monster, set yourself up. I don't really need to explain this too much. Okay. Next up, playing alongside Astro, Triple Chrono, and Time Gazer. Quick setup. Again, easy setup for the Electrumite. Easy setup for your Electrumite combo. Like, you should be playing these guys because they're like the best cards in the deck. Next, I'm also playing the Mythical Beast engine, 3 Master Cerberus, 1 Jackal King. I'm recently finding Master Cerberus has been more useful recently in games 2 and 3 if I'm struggling in a position to make an Electrum. He's just a decent beater. If I can get a few counters on him, he's difficult to get over. He came in really good clutch today. Jackal King's also really good. I've been thinking about maybe trying to put a second Jackal King in, but that's just a matter of me picking up a second Jackal King. I mean, yeah, I could move one across from my Mythical Beast, but I'm one of those guys that doesn't really like moving stuff back and forth too frequently, so if I can pick up another one, I probably will. Continuing on with the Magicians, I'm playing 3 Oath Dragon. Like, I see most builds are playing 2. The only reason I'm playing 3 right now is because I've got the space at the moment. Like, if I'm able to find another Jackal King to slot in, I'd probably take one of these out. But he's still really good. Helps keep my deck flowing. Triple Wisdom, I float to a new scale, makes sure that you can't break. So good. Triple Harmonizing, combo extend. Part of your combo extender floats any magician from your deck. I find this more recently I'm finding it useful to just drop out Stargazer or Time Gazer after I've set up with the Electrums, if I want to try and extend it to another one, or if I just want something that I'm going to use for something, like, say, Starving Venom and something I don't want. But yeah, she's really good. I'm using her a lot more as a scale recently with the amount of additional magicians I'm playing to help get that attack boost to push the game. Next up, Triple Purple Poison. He's like one of the best ones. Gives your monsters extra points. Pops them when it dies. Really good for outing floodgates, which is why I love him. 3 Black Fang. He's probably my main scale 8. The res comes up like every now and then. He's really good for baiting. He's really good against Solemn Strike if you Pendulum summon him with Solemn Strike, because if everything dies, you can just use Black Fang to res something, including itself. So pretty good. 1 Junkie, just because I get a lot of dinosaur players at my locals, so this gives me a chance to out the Tyranno. But if I've got the Tyranno on board in my turn before I do my massive play, it's difficult trying to bait the Tyranno. Because if I attempt it because since he's a quick effect, my best idea would be chain it to the Tyranno when it attempts its effect. But sometimes my opponent will know this, so it's iffy. Other main reason, Junkie is a level 7, so he's useful for the absolute play to make into Vortex if I don't use my other method, which is through this guy. Still playing the 1 Dissolver because an easy way to make Vortex outside of doing the classic absolute, so that's pretty useful. Sometimes he breaks, but normally he's quite fine, so I like him. So that's it for the monsters. Spells, playing 2 Call by the Grave. I was playing 3 of this, but 2 I'm feeling is absolutely fine. I don't use this too frequently. The main purpose is so that I've at least got a chance in case I'm about to get hand trapped. Also useful against things like dinosaur matchups, so if my opponent dumps an Overtex, like, activate it, target the Overtex, banish it, stop the search. Good like that. Good against little things like that. 2 Desires, cut out the 3rd one, just because I didn't want to see it. I was seeing it a bit too much, primarily like drawing it off Desires, which isn't great. But I found a good alternative for it for the moment, so dropped it to 2, but definitely still like playing it. 1 Upstart, no explanation needed. Two Lord, and finally Two Lord of Darkness. Yeah, threw this in to take out the, like I said, got rid of one of my desires. Just gives me an additional option. My deck's all dark, pretty much all dark, so it's not a big deal. Yeah, just gives me additional draws. It's just nice. And then small trap, really small trap lineup that I'm playing. So I'm playing one Judgment, because stops everything, because it's Judgment. Love this, so good. And lots of cards I'm playing are from the new Flames of Destruction. 3 infinite impermanents. For those who haven't seen what this does, it's a breakthrough. It's a breakthrough skill, so you target a monster on the field, negates effects. If you activate it while it was set, you can also negate all effects in that column. So really good against Mech Knights in that reason. Also shuts off that column for the turn. So if your opponent, limits what your opponent can do to a point. And as the added bonus, it works in going first and going second, because if you control no cards, you can activate it from your hand. Okay, so that's it for the main deck. Moving into the extra, I've made a few changes since the recent Flames of Destruction. Not too many, but quite a few that make it noticeable. So let's get into it. Starting off with triple heavy Metal Foes Electrum. I'm finding I definitely need this a lot more just for the combo extender to help make a lockdown board so I can secure the victory. Main link, pretty useful like that. Also, I'm noticing at my locals, Cherries isn't being used as much anymore. Magicians are seeming to take a back seat now to the upcoming things like Nightmare and Altergeist. So, finding it fine to play through Electrum. Next, another new addition I've thrown in from Flames of Destruction. I'm playing one Topologic Trishbiner. Main reason I'm playing this, it's for like one of the main reasons is the Altergeist matchup, because they're using a lot of traps. I wasn't sure about whether or not I wanted to play this today, but I'm actually really glad that I did. It came in clutch during my first round. Came in clutch in my first round match against the Lair of Darkness deck. Their ability to just spam traps was so annoying. Trishbiner at least gave me a chance to blow it up. Gave me a chance to fight back. It gets rid of my scales, and it does cost me a monster, but sometimes it's just a good pet. But that's kind of just a good payoff in the end. Next, one Borrow Load. That's part of my extension play. Most people would go into a Firewall Dragon, but since I don't really have an easy way to co-link it, unless I add additional link monsters, which I don't really want to, and I quite like Borrow Load as a way to out-Masterpiece. Unfortunately, I wasn't in the position to make Masterpiece in my game today against Chudraker. And last link monster I'm playing, once I use just Skull Dread, just as a way to combo extend in main phase 2, restack my hands. Particularly useful if I've decided in some hand traps. Good way for me to make that, draw some cards, maybe try and see some hand traps that I want to see. So like that. Okay, that's it for my link monsters. Next, moving into the XZs. So my XZs, I'm playing one Nariso, Spell Trap Negation, easy to make, because I play like, last time I counted, that's 7 level 6 monsters, so pretty easy to make, and negating spells and tracks is pretty good. One Absolute, because for the Vortex play, if I can't drop Dissolver. Also, if I was able to use Dissolver to summon Vortex and Vortex dies, I can try and use the second effect of Absolute to bring it back. So that's pretty useful. One Supreme Queen Dragon Dark Rebellion, still finding him quite useful for mostly a lot of like rogue decks that I see at my locals. So yeah, useful to just beat over something that's too big for me. Last XZs, one Tornado Dragon, just easy out to back rows and easy outs to back rows, so pretty useful. Standard. For the synchros, I've really cut down on my synchros recently because essentially I'm not playing them as much, but I still play two. So first is Ignista, because he's a decent synchro that outs pretty much a lot of He's a good synchro that outs pretty much anything except like a monster immune masterpiece, which is irritating. Aside from that, he pretty much can clear any issue that I come up with, provided I can just synchro summon quite easily, which isn't too hard. And last synchro, one Supreme Dragon Clearwing, just a great way to do a quick nuke the opponent's board. And in battle, just a quick burn as well, which is nice. Pretty useful if my opponent's got something on board which is immune to destruction, can't affect destruction once per turn, so I can summon it, activate the effect to nuke, clears everything else off. If that thing survives, go to battle phase, attack, auto kill it and burn. So that's pretty nice. I like that. And then finally, fusions, one vortex, negates so much, no explanation needed. And then finally, 2 copies of Supreme King Starving Venom. Useful if I'm in a position where my opponent's like just defending to inflict piercing damage. Lets me copy Electrumite to extend off my plays a bit more. And that's pretty much me. Resents. He's really useful. He's 2/8 as well. Really easy to summon. I realise most people play 2 for the Harbinger play. I don't feel like playing Harbinger in my build because I don't really have the space. As you guys have seen from my extra check, it's pretty tight in space, so I don't really feel the need to play Harbinger. So I might cut one of these for something, I just haven't quite figured out what yet. But yeah, I'm still liking him at 2 because it just gives me that nice backup as well. Okay, so that's the update to my Magician Pendulums. Hope you guys liked it. If you did, just like the video, comment in the descriptions. I realized I didn't update last month. I'm really sorry about that, guys. I was kind of busy with a lot of stuff. But I got a small bit of time now, and I'm hopefully going to be updating with my other decks as well. So that's mythical. So that's also my mythical beast, my arc deck, and once I've figured out all the kinks to it, I will be giving you an update to the Nightmare variant that I'm playing this format. So thanks a lot, guys, and I'll see you next time.